Welcome back to my Creative Chronic Life, and today I am back with something completely different to my channel. I recently saw a lady on TikTok where she was sharing something similar to what I have in front of me today. It was like a Murduko mystery puzzle. So I decided that I would go on the hunt to try and find it, and I came across it on Amazon. And what this is it's called a Murduko, which is 80 murder mystery logic puzzles. Now, if you know me, I absolutely love playing Sudoku, something I've always enjoyed. Well, this is combined. It's also finding out what puzzles they are, and basically you're trying to find out who's done it, whilst also having the same kind of concept as it being the same as Murduko, or Sudoku, should we say. So all we need to do is find out who the suspect is, and you need to place them in like their areas, and that's about it. So I've had this for about a month at this point, and I did actually do a voiceover originally, but unfortunately I kind of lost that, so I'm basically going to just try and remember to the best of my knowledge kind of what's in the book and what I actually spoke about on that particular day. So what we have here is just a couple of pages of information. It says, "Welcome detective, there was, yep, you guessed it, a murder last night. The good news, well, we have a whole lineup of suspects and info about each of them. Here, let me show you the ropes. Your goal, identify the murderer by finding out who is in the same room as the victim. Overview, locate each suspect based on their given clues and the following rules. Every person was in a different column and row. Bed, chairs, carpets are the only objects that can be occupied. Tables, televisions, and plants cannot be occupied. The victim is in the last available square. Whoever was alone with them in the same room is the murderer." And then we have like a step-by-step section here that gives you an example. Here's an example. This case features 3 suspects and 1 victim. They all need to be placed on this 4x4 crime scene with 2 rooms. So we have 3 suspects. We've got Austin, he was beside a table. We have Charlene, she was in front of a window. Vinny, the victim, he was in the last remaining square. So then we'll go on to the next page, which tells us where everything is. Then it says, "Now let's explain the clues. According to their clues, Austin, Bryson, and Charlene can be in any of these squares." So wherever there's A, you can see it's Austin is a bedside table. C for Charlene is in front of a window, and then Bryson is on a bed, but you can sit on the top and the bottom of the bed. So important to know, if A is here, which is just explaining in the little squares, then no one can occupy the opposite square. So basically, just like when you play Sudoku, you have to get like numbers from 1 to 9 all the way across and all the way down. So you can't have one in the same row vertically and horizontally. So this is the same situation. You can't have somebody be but in both spaces, so that's good to know. Then we have, there is only 1 square where Charlene can be, so we can block every square in her row and her column. So Charlene is by the window, so we cross off, add C there, and then we cross off horizontal and vertically straight across. This lets us isolate Bryson's position on the last available square, because we do know that Bryson was on the bed, because he's not on the top side of the bed, because Charlene's squares have marked that out. We do know that Bryson is there. Now, Austin is beside a bedside table. Now, depending on which bedside table he's on, so we will turn over in a moment. So then we have number 4. After finding Bryson, we block his row and column. This leaves only 1 square beside the table for Austin. So of course we go horizontally across and vertically up, which means that there's only 1 there's only one table, so we have to put A for Austin in there, which means the victim is in the last final square. So then we add a V. So this means then, so it says, finally, let's identify the murderer. The murderer was in the same room as the victim. So in the same room, which is A, he was near the table. V, Vinny was near the television. Austin was alone in the living room with Vinny. So Austin is the murderer. So I hope that was a little bit explained well. I'm just kind of pretty much reading off, but yeah. It says, any questions? I've added some clarification at the back of the book. Now it's time to get to moving. And then on the right hand side, we have a list of objects that can be occupied. A chair, the carpet, bed. Now beds are both sides, so where the blanket is folded, so it can be yellow or blue, and then the top part where the pillow is. So that's something to keep in mind. And then we have the window. What cannot be occupied? A table, TV, plant, shelf, and a box. A window is a special type of object that can only appear on heavy grid lines. A window may be on the edge of the grid or between two squares, in which case it's adjacent to both squares. And then it just gives us some advanced tips. Analyze the puzzles row by row, column by column. In most grids, there is exactly one person per row and per column. If you see any row or column with exactly one available square, someone must be there, even if you don't know who it is yet. Analyze the puzzles room by room. Instead of figuring out where each person can be, try asking who exactly can and cannot be in each room. And then it says, this approach is especially useful when a clue states there is no empty room. This is our first case. This one shouldn't be too tricky. Just remember your training. So Axel, he was in front of a window. So we've got two windows, so he could be in any one of them windows. Bella, she was in the front hall. So Bella could be anywhere in the front hall. We then have Cora, she was on a carpet. So instantly we can see one carpet. So we know that Cora will go there. We then have Douglas, he was on the bed. So there's one bed. So we don't know if he's on the top part or the bottom part. Ella, she was beside a plant. So there's two plants, so we're not sure. And then we have Vincent, he was the victim. He's in the last remaining square. So as this is a voiceover, it might not quite match, so I'll try my best to make sure that I explain it well enough. So we know for sure that Cora is on a carpet. So we will then square off Cora. So we will go vertically down and horizontally across, which marks off the top of the bed. So that means then that Douglas, he's on the bottom side of the bed. So what we'll do is we will cross off horizontally Douglas and then vertically Douglas as well. And then that leaves us with one, so Axel. Because we've crossed off D for where Douglas is, that means nobody can be beside that window, which means Axel is in front of the window in the living room. So we can go horizontally across and vertically down. So that will leave us with Bella. Yep, I think Bella. Vertically down and across, yeah. So what that will mean is that we'll leave Bella. She was in the front hall, so she's between both of the TV stands. And then Ella, she was beside the plant, and because we have crossed off where Cora is, this automatically means that Ella is going to be in the dining room where the plant is in the dining room. So if we cross off all of the squares, this will mean that V for Vincent, which is the victim, he is in the dining room, which would make our murderer be Ella. Now, obviously, as I am reading this out, I've gone a little bit fast because I am redoing the voiceover, but I'm pretty much probably just explaining the same thing. I have done it in pencil, and I do like the way that I will go back in and go over in pen later on, but I found that originally when I went through it the first time, I was a little bit stuck just because I wasn't too sure if like somebody could sit on a bed. And then the little carpets on the original page, it showed that it was in yellow, so I now seem to know that it can be different colors, so just make sure that you're wary of that as well. And also that each of the rooms, so we've got a living room, a bedroom, a front hall, and a dining room. They only give us, for example, like Bella, she was in the front hall, so we know she's in the front hall, but we don't know where. That doesn't necessarily give us the correct answer straight away. Now at the back, I was just making sure that I was correct, and I do know that I was correct because obviously this is a pre-filmed video and I'm doing a voiceover. And I do like the fact that you do have the answer at the back and it gives you exactly the explanations, and I like that as well. So I've covered some bits so you can't see. I think this is a great way and a really interactive way to use your brain as well, and I like the fact that I'm filming the video to share with you all, because I feel like it's really helpful for me as a person who really loves to use the brain, but I no longer am able to use it in a way where it's effective, especially with like medication and pain relief and things like that. And I just think it's great, and because I love Sudoku, I think it's fabulous. So like I said, I picked this up from Amazon. I think it was about $9.99. The book in itself comes with 80 murder mystery logic puzzles. This particular one is by M. Garand, and I think it's fabulous. I haven't actually done any more since that point. I think it was originally $16.99, but you can pick it up for a little bit cheaper on Amazon, and I think it was like $9.99 or $10.99. I'm not 100% sure, but I absolutely loved that. I'm sorry that I lost the original voiceover, so it would have probably given you like a step-by-step of all the information. So this is the best that I can do, but fingers crossed we will do puzzle number 2 in a couple of weeks time. Let me know if this is something that you want me to do together, so that I will just continue on from like 1 2 3 4 till we get to 80, or should I just do some myself and then come back every so often? Because I would love if you guys have the same book as well, that maybe we could do it together, and then like if I'm ever stuck on something, somebody might be able to help me too. So I hope you've enjoyed something very different to my channel. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. And of course, you can always find everything related to My Creative Chronic Life on my website at www.mycreativechroniclife.co.uk, where I share blog posts, reading reviews, short stories, recipes, grab and go freebies, and much, much more. Well, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.